Y'all, it's time. Hey y'all, welcome back to a new video. It is declutter season. I don't know if you could hear the jingle jangle, but it is declutter season and it is time to tackle this. These are all of my powder, bronzer, blushes, and highlights. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to swatch them all and I'm going to disambiguate some of these. And I know at least a couple things in here are going to get the chop, but maybe more than I'm expecting. So get yourself a cup of tea. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to pull out the bronzers and the highlighters first, and then we'll get to blush. Okay, so I have pulled out all of my powder highlighters and bronzers. I think we're going to start with highlight and then we will move on to the bronzers. Get a rag to wipe my hands. I know there's at least one here that's going to go, possibly even two. This is the declutter bucket. Okay, so I can definitely point out two in this pile that are not going anywhere. We have Bare Minerals Opal Glow, which has seen... So Opal Glow has seen a thing or two in her time, and she's a stunner. So we're gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. It's kind of hard not to. And this one, which honestly I don't think I have even put away yet, because why? Anyway, this is the Natasha Denona or Natasha Denona High Gen Highlighter Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier in shade 01 Light. And it's gorgeous. I love, love, love this highlighter. I haven't been loving highlighters. Like over the last couple years, the number of highlighters that I own has gone down significantly. All right, I think this one might be heading for the highlight declutter in the sky. So this is NARS Fort de France. It's pretty, but it's far more yellow than anything I'm reaching for, or anything I want to reach for. It's just not doing it for me. And it's still perfectly good. Not the formula that's changed, it's just my tastes have changed. But yeah, that's beautiful. So I could sell this, I could give it to someone, but it's still got a lot of life in her. And like, NARS, do we need to discuss the size of this packaging? It's ridiculous. How many grams is this? It's 14 grams of product. In comparison, the Natasha Denona is 10 and the Bare Minerals is 3.2. So let's like try and rein things into perspective with size. Anyway, getting back to the declutter, this is gonna go. I have a feeling this one's gonna go too. This is Bare Minerals Rose Glow. So I bought Opal Glow with some birthday money and then more birthday money came in. So I was like, oh, let's get another one. And I bought Rose Glow and I don't like it. It doesn't feel as special as Opal Glow. And on me, it just pulls silver. I don't even know if y'all can see that. It's just a weird, I don't like it. I'm gonna declutter it. The last one I think is gonna stay. This is one of my old school highlighters. This is from Nabla. This is their skin glazing glass skin finishing powder. It's that nice in-between point between Fort de France and Opal Glow. It's more neutral, but it's got that same like sheen instead of shine. So out of 5 highlighters, I'm keeping 3, which Very happy with. No regrets. No regrets. All right, we have in front of us bronzers and contours. I'm not differentiating. We're putting them all into the same category. So we have the Make Beauty, the Gucci. Yeah, there's a good mix here. There's a good mix. So this I have been all over again lately. I don't know if this is still available. Like I said in the cream blush video, I don't know what's going on with this brand, but I love this powder and I use it all the time. And if you can't see anything, that's kind of the point. There you go. Got a nice little stripe of it. This is the Double Take Sculpting and Bronzing Powder in White Pearl. And it is just the preeminent cheek product. It does so much heavy lifting. If I just want my blush to shine, it balances out as a bronzer. I can use it as a brown blush. It's just so useful. And I'm keeping it. All right, do I need to say anything about this? This is the bronzer that has changed my relationship with bronzers. And when I first swatched it, I was like, oh my God, that's orange. Do I need to even say it? This is the Skin Mimetic Micro Suede Bronzer in Lunar. And I love her so very much. So very much. Gucci Gucci. I can't not do the Charo impression. I just can't. I love this bronzer. It's very much the opposite of the Make. It's very, cooler weather, cool toned, depending on what I'm wearing and what I want to be, what I want the overall look to be. It's just so pretty. So we've got Barely There, Warm, and Cool. In theory, that should be all I need, but it's not. The Balm, Take Home the Bronze. This one just surprised the ever-living daylights out of me with just how neutral it is. It's neither rosy toned, it's neither warm toned, it's right in that sweet spot. Formula is nice. This feels like it's getting hard pan. I don't know, the surface is feeling a little bit more rough, and I'm wondering if it's maybe beginning to go off, but it still performs beautifully. It doesn't smell bad, and it layers really nicely. I'm not having any dusting of the pigment. I'm not seeing any like scratching, bits of pigment balling up and scratching its way through. It's blending really nicely. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna use it. Maybe if it goes off later this year, I'll declutter it. But it's fine for now. Haas Labs, another one that surprised me. I was really convinced that this formula was not going to work for me because I couldn't find a shade in it. Turns out Light 01 is a fabulous shade, and I was able to buy this secondhand, meaning I got it for like half price of retail, which is great. Like the Balm, it's neutral, but it's slightly warmer. It's just a little bit warmer than the neutral from the Balm. And the way that these bronzers play on my face is so weird. I was just watching the beginning of Khaki Reviews Beauty's new video, and she too found the LYS bronzer was too green and too orange at the same time. So I feel vindicated. This is from Nabla. I have been resisting pulling the trigger on decluttering this for the longest time, and I'm still feeling very ambivalent about decluttering it. But look at that color. It's not really comparable to anything else I have, and yet it's still beautiful. I'm not feeling any differentiation in the texture of the pan. It's just kind of there. builds up, but it blends out. Oh, y'all, I went to a drag show up in Cleveland this weekend. I got to see Jinx and Dela's holiday special, which was just such a treat. And I didn't pack a real bronzer. And I was like, okay, I'm wearing blush. What do I use for bronzer? Yeah, not the smartest packing choices on my part. All right, so this is the Sephora contour. This is really affordable. It's like $14, I think, and mine is in light to medium. When I'm choosing a contour, I tend to go the second shade down because it's going to be slightly warmer. And I do really like this contour. It's a little more gray than, say, the Charlotte Tilbury or even the Victoria Beckham. So Charlotte Tilbury. This is a brand new pan. I finished mine. You can see there in comparison, there is no comparison. Like, this is much warmer and really needs to be built up, where this is kind of just quick, off the cuff, but it still blends out really easily. And just for giggles, we'll swatch the highlighter because this is brand new. I just replaced it. It's not going anywhere. And then Victoria Beckham. This is another one that I bought secondhand. And honestly, I love this thing. So this is the contour side. I do use this contour as a contour. And you can see why. These don't swatch well. They really don't. And I think that's one of the reasons I like them, is they're pretty hard pressed. So there's the lighter one. You can kind of see it there. And yeah, I really do like how almost not there these are. These are special. As far as the world of bronzers go, these are really special. I use this one to manipulate the light under my eyes. This one I use as a contour. I'll use it as a bronzer if I need to. It's just, the whole thing is useful to me. And that makes a really good duo, in my opinion. Okay. Oh, wait, nope. Nope. Let me double check, make sure I haven't forgotten anything else. Nope. As far as singles go, we've got one more, and this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in, I think this is the light medium. That would make sense. And y'all, I've had this for a long time. I have not been reaching for it much, but that's because it's gotten swallowed by this. Oh, I love it. I love this bronzer. Is it similar to things I also have? Yes. But is it special in and of itself? Yes. So that is, I didn't get rid of any bronzers or contours. That's okay. Okay, Make Beauty. What more do I need to say about these other than I have 6 of them? I have 6 of these. I don't think I've ever owned that many of one thing other than eyeshadows, ever. So these just fit the bill. They do what I need them to do, and they're so usable and user-friendly. All right, we have Celestial Rose, which honestly, one of my favorites. It's rose, it's brown, it's neutral, there's a hint of mauve in there. And that's what makes it so useful. Amber Glow, y'all, you could have knocked me down with a feather when I first put this on my face, because it literally did just make everything pop to life. New Moon, not the Twilight book, but look at how pretty that is. Now this one, I don't know if it's because it's going over the ridges of my tattoo, but it feels a little gritty. Let me put it somewhere else. Nope, I think that's just my tattoo. Eros. This is the newest one, and admittedly, I haven't really given it much play. I do this. That's why I do this. I want to get my fingers into my makeup, make sure everything is still usable, nothing has gone off, nothing smells weird, feels weird, and reminds me that I have really beautiful blush colors like this that I barely use. That's the lesson. Mystic Mauve. There is no mystique about how gorgeous Mystic Mauve is. Cosmic. Yes, because this color is out of this world. Goodness gracious. I don't need any more caffeine today, but I want more. It is it's like the powder form of Charlotte Tilbury Kiss of Pink. And I have one powder, I have one cream. I'm good with that. Okay, let's look at NARS. These are also mattes, and I want to compare like matte blush to matte blush. So we're going to start with Infatuated, which honestly, when I use it, I love it, but I don't reach for it that much. It does have, okay, Celestial Rose. We're gonna do some face-offs here. Ugh. It's beautiful. It's this mucky raisiny brown, but so is that. And I'm not willing to declutter either of them, but I just want to take a deeper look and see how they all play together, because I have an RMS blush too that's in that same color family. Amour. Nope, this is Behave. This is not Amour. This has been one of my favorite, most used blushes of the year. It's just so good. And this formula, I mean, look at it even in comparison to the Make. The Make Beauty formula is beautiful. It's blurring, it's smooth, but the NARS, like you can tell where the Make stop and the NARS begin. The colors aren't the same. They have similar undertones, but there's depth, pigmentation to consider. But they're all really pretty. And I'm not getting rid of any of my NARS blushes. I'm just not. And then we have here Amour. NARS and Make both do that thing where you can remove the pan. So that right there, my favorite thing. It is my favorite thing. Is when you can pop the pan out of your makeup and you can take it with me. With you. I can take it with me. Amour. I mean, look at that in comparison to any of these. It's different. This is much more of a persimmon, where this is like a peach. I wanted to swatch these two against Maiden's Blush from RMS. So, Celestial Rose. Infatuated. I mean, you ask a layman, they're going to tell you those are the same color. They're the same undertone. Infatuated is darker. And if we put these up against Maiden's Blush from RMS, we're going to get a very different outcome. Because the formula on this one is much more shimmer. Either of these two, which are both matte. Needless to say, none of the Make or the NARS are going anywhere. I don't think any of the RMS are either, but that will, okay. RMS. Let's re-swatch Maiden's Blush, because why the hell not? It's a gorgeous blush. Can we just take a moment and appreciate it? We then have Sangria, which honestly is another one of those blushes that if you told me I would be wearing this, I'd be like, no way. But I love it. It's so brightening, and it just kind of wakes up my face when I'm feeling blah. It's one of those blushes that can lift my mood. Just like Amour or Amber Glow from Make. Hanky Panky, this was my first RMS blush, And it's not hard to tell because it's a mess. But it's the only one of these RMS blushes that actually kind of has a shift. So it's got this blue base. It's this really pretty mucky purple base with a blue shift, and it's so flattering. You wouldn't think it would be, but it is. And this is the newest one to enter my collection from RMS. This is Bohemian Girl. Which in shade reminds me of Cosmic, but again, the RMS blushes are a different formula. They have more sheen, they have more of like a satin sheen, whereas both the NARS and the Make Beauty blushes are matte. Let's talk about these Bare Minerals. I have Kiss of Mauve, I have Kiss of Rose, and Kiss of Pink. Kiss of Pink has been one, Kiss of Pink has really been one to come in clutch this year. When I need something, but I don't know what it is, Kiss of Pink. Again, that really beautiful beige, nude pink color. It's just skin native. It's not too warm. It's not too cool. It's just right in the middle. And that is why I like her and she is staying. This is old packaging, but the blush is fine. It's probably like technically expired. I don't care. It still works. I'm still using it. I still like Kiss of Mauve might be hitting the dirt. I just don't use it very much. I don't use it at all, actually. When I think I want to use one of my Bare Minerals blushes, do I go for Kiss of Mauve or Kiss of Rose? It's usually Kiss of Rose. Because they are so similar, I feel like I like the formula on Kiss of Rose better. So that one's gonna stay. Kiss of Mauve, you're gonna hit the road. I'm sure someone will love you, just not me. Horrible to say. All right, I have two of the House Labs blushes. I have Pomelo Peach and Fire Moon. These are also a matte formula. Look at how bright Pomelo Peach is. I mean, that is a peach that just lights up the face. Oh, so pretty. These are a little bit more pigmented than the NARS or the Make Beauty, but that's it's something to take into account when deciding to use these. Fire Moon. The only other thing I have in my cheek collection that I can compare this to is Virtue from Rare Beauty, and that is a liquid, whereas this is not. I mean, look at that. It is that ruddy, burnt peach, almost terracotta, not quite. Look at that. Look at it. Oh, so I don't think it's a stretch to say that Fire Moon is going to stay. All right, that leaves us with 5. That leaves us with 5 blushes that don't have any friends, just kind of sitting out at recess by themselves, reading their books, just like I did as a child, and I turned out just fine, except I'm sitting in a room by myself, playing with makeup and talking to a camera. I'm fine. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a problem. Just a challenge. It's just a challenge. Last 5. And some of these are honestly some of the most unique blushes I own. So we have Armani in, this is, I don't know, Luminous Silk Glow Blush in shade 11. So talk about a neutral beige. I mean, that is If you'd have told me I'd be wearing that as a blush 2 years ago, I'd have told you you were nuts and that blush would never show up on me. But it does, and it's lovely. I I do recall Khaki Reviews Beauty talking about how these are pound for pound the most expensive blush at Sephora. And I believe them. I believe her on that. I'm not going to do the math because I don't really like math if I can avoid it. No, I can do the math. That's fine. But I already own it, so I'm going to use it and enjoy it. I'm not going to get that like, oh, it's so expensive preciousness mindset. No, I'm going to use it and love it and make sure it doesn't go to waste. One that's probably the least expensive blush in my collection. This is Milani. Yo, I have been trying out a whole bunch of new Milani makeup and I am shocked. This is number 14, Petal Primavera. This is their baked blush formula. So they also have Luminoso in this formula. I actually like this one better. I like this one better. I feel like it's a slightly deeper version of Flirtatious from Pat McGrath, which we're gonna swatch next. It's that desaturated rosy beige that's just so flattering on my pale, cool toned skin. Like, I'm not pale, pale. I'm not the fairest of the fair. I'm not the fairest of them all. But I'm also, like, usually the second shade in most shade ranges. This is Flirtatious from Pat McGrath. And this is going to be another one that is going to just kind of disappear into the skin. Yeah. So you can see Petal Primavera has a little bit more pink, is a little cooler toned, but if you are someone who cannot wear Flirtatious because it is too beige and too light, Petal Primavera might work. That might be one to look into, but she's staying. Charlotte Tilbury. This is technically a highlighter. This is the Pillow Talk Multi Glow Beautifying All Over Glow Highlighter. Jiminy Crickets, Charlotte with all the words. I do use this as a blush. I also use it as a topper and a highlighter and a multi-use face powder. It very much shows up as a blush and it's lovely. It's a little bit more brown, it's a little bit more nude, it's a little bit more neutral than a lot of other stuff that I have in this category. I have swatched this against my Bare Minerals, I've swatched it against a lot of my RMS. There isn't anything I have that's this texture that's also this color. And that is why I keep it. Was this limited edition? Yes. Did mine break twice? Yes. But it's okay. Actually, I like it better like this because I don't have to worry about these gradient pan lines and making sure I'm getting a swatch of each color. No, it's all broken up. It's mixed into one. It's easier to use this way. I do also kind of like this sparkly holographic top thing that's happening. And last but not least is going to be Independence in the Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. Criminally, how many words can we fit into one name? It is one of the rosiest blushes that is very much on the like more rosy than beige spectrum. And that's why I keep it, because I know it's unique to my collection and I love it for that. It's also got some sentimentality, but I think that's because I bought it in the midst of 2020 when I wasn't buying any makeup and I was really trying to figure out what I was doing with my life. So Yeah, Nabla. While I'm at it, I was going to save these for palettes, but we're cruising right along. So let's go ahead and do these now. These are my face palettes. They're all I own. I have these 3 face palettes. So we're going to swatch all of these and figure out if I want to declutter any of them. I don't think I'm going to. I'll run the idea by corporate. I can't speak today, y'all. It's been a weird day already. All right, so we've got Desert Orchid, Nude Venus, Divine Rose 3, Paradise Nectar, and Sunset Nectar? No, Paradise Venus and Sunset Nectar. Criminally, Pat. Oh my goodness. All right, so this is Desert Orchid. I do really like this blush. I consider it a slightly deeper version of the Armani. So this is going to be Nude Venus. So these are 2 of the pinkest blushes I have, which is why I keep this palette. This is Desert Orchid 3. It does strike me as being similar to Cosmic, but I'm not from Make Beauty, but I'm not getting rid of Cosmic just because I have this, because this is not depotable. And then one of the deepest blushes I own, I would actually consider that, yeah, it's Paradise Venus. I would put this in with Infatuated and maybe a little bit of Kiss of Rose, those more mucky, cooler tones. It's still really pretty. It's pretty. And then this highlighter I really don't use. It's so brightening. It's so bright. And by bright, I mean packed full of glitter. And I'm 42. I've got lines. I've got wrinkles. I've got some crow's feet going. I am not looking to put glitter all over my face. Not like this. However, because I like the other 4 blushes and they do live in my mind palace, these all live in my memory. This is going to stay. All right, Hourglass. This is the Ghost Edit. This came out ages and ages and ages ago, and I still like it. I do not know which blushes these are. I can't read this chart, but that one's pretty pink. Again, very bright. This is the brightest, most translucent pink I have, and I love knowing I have it. So that is Surreal Effect blush. The next one is going to be Brilliance Nude Strobe blush. Ow. The next one's going to be Lucid Glow, which is also a strobe blush. That's this one. This is such an interesting color. It reminds me of Amber Glow from Make Beauty. It has a lot of the similar tones as Amour from NARS, but she's different. And we love that. So this last one is the most used. I don't know if y'all can see the 3-dimensionality of this palette, but it's been the most used. This is Infinite Flush. And that's because it is the most skin native on me in this palette. And I really like this little quad. It does a lot of heavy lifting. Now, have I forgotten about this because it's been tucked in with my palettes and not in with the rest of my blushes? Yeah. So I need to find a way to mitigate and rectify that problem. Last one is also Hourglass. So last year they came out with these in this gorgeous packaging. These are tin, and jellyfish are my favorite animal. So I couldn't not. This is the second color story though. The jellyfish usually came with a lighter color story. I had mine custom made, so I could get it with the jellyfish packaging. All right, so we're gonna go, this is one of their finishing powders. Smooth, pretty. This is the highlighter. Now this highlighter is it's a bit much, but when you want a bit much, you want a bit much. We then have, this is Mood Exposure, which one of my favorite blushes that Hourglass makes. Yes, give it to me. Incandescent Rose. It does have a little bit of the same undertone as the Nabla, but it's a very different formula. It's softer, it's a little more blurring. That's the word I was looking for. And it's super pretty. This is Ethereal Flush. So it's a little bit more coral. And it does look like it has a little bit more white of a backing. And these two side by side could easily be misconstrued for each other. And this last one is Lustrous Bronze Light. Now, I find this to do that same green gray thing that the LYS cream blush did on me, where it looks green when you pick it up on the finger. It's got a little bit more green, but then it, and my suspicion, look, I'm not a color theory expert or anything, but my suspicion is that because green and yellow share, or green and orange, whatever, I don't have a color theory answer for that, but that is one of the few products in here that I just don't reach for because it doesn't suit me. So that is it, friends. That will do it for all of the decluttering. I only decluttered 3 products. Yeah, that's okay. I was experiencing a little bit of feeling like my blush collection in general, between creams and powders, was busting at the seams. I got rid of a lot more creams than powder, and maybe middle of next year I'll do another round of decluttering after I give everything another shot and I really decide whether or not I want to be a blush minimalist. I don't, but I want to keep a mental record of what I use between now and then. So I hope y'all are taking care of yourselves so you can take care of each other, and I will see you all in my next video, friends. Hint, it's going to be another declutter. Bye, y'all.